Hello everyone, welcome back to Premier League Unfiltered. I hope you're all doing well. We've just finished a weekend that has fundamentally changed the look of the Premier League table, and frankly, if you're a United fan or an Arsenal fan, you're probably watching this through your fingers. We have to talk about the Monday night meltdown at Old Trafford, but first, let's look at the absolute carnage across the rest of the league. We have to start with Arsenal 1, Bournemouth 2. I've said it before, the momentum has shifted, but this was a total collapse. Arteta tried to play this pragmatic football again, and it was just poor. Bournemouth weren't lucky, they were the better side. They outplayed, outworked, and outthought a team that is supposed to be winning the league. That's three losses on the bounce for the Gunners. And while Arsenal are stumbling, Manchester City just destroyed Chelsea. It was a clinical demolition. City have closed the gap going into the big game. And down at the bottom, Sunderland 1, Tottenham nil. De Zerbi's debut was exactly what we feared. Meanwhile, West Ham thrashed Wolves 4-0, which means the Hammers now have a 2-point lead over Spurs, who are officially in the relegation zone. Then the Monday night disaster, United 1, Leeds 2. Absolutely poor performance. There's no other way to spin it. I know people are going to scream about the Martinez red card, and yes, it was harsh. The refereeing in the league has been an incompetent all season, but you cannot blame the ref for that first half. It was disastrous. We looked lost. We only showed some real fight once we went down to 10 men. And by then it was too late, and I think we actually missed Harry Maguire. In these games against bottom half teams who sit in low blocks, his presence and leadership matter. Ugarte and Casemiro together against Leeds just did not work. We missed Kobe Mainoo's hold-up play and his ability to transition the ball. Our midfield was extremely stagnant against Leeds. Anyways, match week 33 is here, and it's arguably the biggest weekend of the entire 2026 season. We have a potential title decider at the Etihad and a massive Merseyside Derby and a brutal test for United's depleted backline at Stamford Bridge. We kick off on Saturday with Brentford versus Fulham. Brentford actually have an outside shout at Champions League spot if results go their way, so they'll push hard. I'm going for a 2-1 win for Brentford. In the 3 p.m.s, Leeds should carry the momentum from beating us to take down Wolves 3-1. While I fancy a tight 1-1 draw between Newcastle and Bournemouth, later that evening, De Zerbi's Spurs face his old club Brighton. Honestly, Spurs are so fragile right now. I see a high-scoring 2-2 draw. Heading into Super Sunday, first the Merseyside Derby, Everton vs Liverpool. Form usually goes out of the window here, and with Liverpool looking a bit leggy, I'm going for an upset 2-1 win to Everton. And Villa will likely struggle against a disciplined Sunderland, so I'm backing a 1-1 draw. Then the big one, Manchester City versus Arsenal. This is it, the title decider. Arsenal are struggling. They barely scraped past Sporting in midweek to reach the UCL semis, and their league form is concerning. City, on the other hand, are fresh off that Chelsea demolition. I'm going for a 4-2 win to City. They've been in this position so many times. They know exactly how to choke the life out of a title rival. Keep an eye out on Cherki. Outside of Bruno Fernandes, Cherki has been the most consistent performer in the league this season. To do that in your first year in England is insane. Along with Semenyo, I think he's going to be instrumental. If City win this, the title is theirs to lose. Finally, coming to our game, it's the start of a brutal run. Chelsea, then Brentford, then Liverpool. We needed points from the Leeds game because this stretch is terrifying, to be honest. We're going into Stamford Bridge with no Maguire and no Martinez. That is a defensive nightmare. It's going to be tricky, and we'll have to rely on outscoring them rather than keeping a clean sheet. I'm going for a narrow 2-1 win to United. We need a reaction after that Monday night disaster, and if we want UCL football, we simply cannot afford another slip up. Carrick will be in the spotlight. The results are one thing, but the performances lately have dipped significantly. If you look at the recent form, one win in the last 4 games, dropping points to Leeds, and that stagnant display against Bournemouth, Carrick has to show he can tactically outclass a big opponent, and if he can secure a win here, it builds the momentum we desperately needed for Brentford and Liverpool. And if he fails, the board might decide that waiting for other managers until after the World Cup is the only logical move. And if things weren't hard enough for United, the FA has stepped in to make it worse. Maguire has had his ban extended due to conduct towards the referee. Honestly, is ridiculous. We've seen referees make shambolic decisions all season, including Martinez's red card, but when a player reacts to the incompetence, they get the book thrown at them. With Maguire and Martinez suspended, our defense is extremely depleted. So anyways, our starting 11, I think Carrick has to be bold. Lemon stays in goal as usual. We need the experience of Dalot and Shaw coming back as a fullbacks to offer some stability in the heart of defense. It's Euro and heaven. In the midfield, Nomo Ugarte and Casemiro together, they got absolutely run through against Leeds. They looked non-existent as a pairing. We need Mainu back. His hold-up play and composure are the only things that gives this team balance. And if Mainu is fit, it's him, Casemiro and Bruno in the midfield. That's the only way we can control the tempo. Up front, I think Ahmad needs to be dropped. He's been average recently and looks tired. I'd bench him and use him as an impact sub. I expect Carrick to go with Sesko up front, flanked by Cunha and Mbomo. Mbomo's physicality on the right is going to be vital against Chelsea's high line. It's a must-win in every sense of the word. For the UCL, for the fans and for Carrick's career. So anyways, that brings an end to this episode. Very interesting weekend waiting in the Premier League. Let's see how it all pans out. Make sure to like, share and subscribe. I'll speak to you all soon. Take care everyone. Bye bye.